What's more reliable if you want to know what's accurate, faith or intuition?
What's more reliable? My friends will say. What's more reliable, faith or intuition? I guess it all just depends on what you get your faith in. But for the daily person, intuition can be very reliable.
Faith depends. Faith's reliability is what you have your faith in. Yeah, enjoying the day.
It's a good day. We've been tabling. Me and him are in the same club on here on campus.
Oh, cool.
Young Americans for Freedom.
Which club?
Young Americans for Freedom. It's a conservative group.
Young Americans for Freedom.
Yeah.
Do you run into young Americans that aren't?
No, but we run into people who are against conservatism. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, conservatism equals freedom?
So a lot of people have different definitions of freedom.
Right.
It's like freedom from, freedom to. Most people on the left think of freedom as like freedom to do whatever I want, or freedom to do this or that, or maybe we just differ on the things that we didn't want the freedom to. But like a more conservative moral stance is something like freedom from vice, and then freedom to pursue virtue, freedom to pursue truth.
Okay.
So that would be what I mean by
Oh,
that.
okay. So, is there a freedom that that you think your opponents don't think we should have?
Freedom to life in terms of when it comes to abortion, we believe that.
Oh, okay. Freedom.
Self-preservation would be the first law of nature.
Oh, okay. So freedom.
It
Okay.
would actually be more of it'd be a right. You know, like freedom is more of something that you can or can't do.
Uh-huh.
Right is something even more important than that. So
Okay.
life would be a right, yeah.
What was your name?
Anthony,
Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person I just talked to, his name was Anthony.
oh really?
So this will be a fun day to
Nature
edit.
is but art unknown to thee.
Cool. Good to meet you, Anthony. I'm
Nice.
David.
Nice to meet you.
And what's your name?
My name's Nicholas.
Nicholas?
Nick.
Cool. Good to meet you. All right, and you're cool if we record?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So, you said you had an answer to my question about what is truth.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you want to talk about that, or did you want to talk about your organization? And
Both hands.
it's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, is it already recording?
Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like so. My answer to the question of truth, I think there's many answers that are correct. I don't mean to come off as a subjectivist, but like I think there's many answers that are correct. Like I had a friend who said that which whatever God says, basically. And then I'm a Catholic, so I
Okay.
believe in objective truth. So obviously, I think everything God says is in accordance with objective truth, and all objective truth comes from Him. So obviously, I'd be like, yeah. But mine is more like that which is in accordance with reason.
Okay.
Um,
So truth is whatever is accordance with reason,
in accordance, yes.
is whatever is in accordance with reason.
Yeah. So I see truth as
Okay.
kind of like a metaphysical form in the Platonic sense. But everything in this world rhymes with that, the true form, the essence of truth, which I believe is held in God. But have you ever read any Plato or like Aristotle? Probably both of them are on the same page about this.
Yeah, I have, um, but not like I wouldn't be able to quote anything.
Yeah, it's
Like most of my philosophical inquiries were with like Eastern philosophy.
okay. Yeah,
So, I mean that kind of interested me more because it was
Confucius.
yeah, and it was like more exotic in
See, if
some
you
way.
start getting into that, I will have no idea what you're talking about. I have never read a lick of Confucius.
Okay.
I'm a freshman with a minor in philosophy, so
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
love. I wish I could have philosophy as my major, but I chose like poli sci for other reasons. But
Okay, cool. Well, okay, so you're saying that truth is kind of a platonic uh
former ideal, yeah.
okay. Okay. All right. And so what is your definition for reason?
See, um, some people. So this is when it starts going into circular reasoning. I could say that which is in accordance with truth, and it's like, oh, this is circular reasoning.
Right.
But you. So I guess my final answer would be what is being itself is truth. I would say, and I
Okay.
would say that it would probably be the great being or the great I am in terms of the Bible, God. So it seems like it's circular because of human language, but in reality, it's just one thing. It's really hard to pinpoint.
Okay.
Um,
If we didn't have the Bible, would we still have truth?
we just wouldn't have the fullness of it.
Okay. So
We would be just like
truth is like a
some
glass?
well, some like okay, some painting hasn't been painted yet, so we're lacking of the fullness of beauty that this world is has the potential of becoming. So
Maybe I can simplify this. What makes a statement true?
if it is in accordance with reason,
And that you're saying is kind of like a spectrum, like a fullness or emptiness. I guess that's where I
sometimes it
was kind
can
of thrown off.
sometimes it can be like an opinion is sometimes based on truth, but may not be able to measure up to like objective truth. But like 1 + 1 = 2 is completely in accordance with all reason.
Okay.
So that is a true statement.
Okay. Would you say that a statement is either true or not true?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does this kind of spectrum come in?
So okay, a statement can be yeah. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that. It's true or not true. It can be true or not true. You can have a completely false statement, or you can have a completely true statement. But one could say any number of things and be like half right. Like you can be half right. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be, you could say one. I'm having trouble coming up with an example, but I would say the opinion example would be a good one. Like some people can have an opinion on something and they might be right, but what they base it on was wrong or something.
Hmm.
I
Their
could say
reason.
1 + 1 is 2 because the sky is blue. It's like 1 + 2 is 2. 1 + 1 is 2, but it's not. It's not because the sky's blue.
The reason that you're using to support it
Yeah, but you could
is
arrive at
not
a
at.
true conclusion.
Okay.
A lot of people arrive at
So
true
a
conclusions
conclusion
through
is either true or
intuition.
not true.
Yeah, I
Would
could
you
say
say that?
yeah.
Okay. So a conclusion is either true or not true. Okay. Um, you said that you believe in objective reality
Yeah.
or objective truth.
Yes.
Sorry. Um, because of God.
Um, I would say that's something that has helped explain that. But I think intuitively, I've always known that there's objective truth.
Intu- Intuitively.
Mhm.
Okay. Is why is intuition a good thing to rely on if you want to know if something's true or not true?
A lot of times, intuition precedes reason. Reason. So, human beings are born into this world with, years of. I believe in some form of evolution. Years of like evolutionary traits, or we see patterns that we're not able to articulate at the moment. Like we're able to make prejudgments on things that like could save our life. So I
Okay.
think intuition sometimes you just kind of know that type of thing.
Sounds like what you're saying is
It's not
intuition
always
can be
reliable.
practical,
Yeah, it's yeah,
but it's not always reliable to arrive at truth.
and it's not always reliable. Yeah,
Okay.
from what I've seen.
Okay. So, are you open? Okay. Hmm. Truth. Explain more about how objective truth relates to a God.
Well, if a God creates a world and he sets some fundamental principles like gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared or whatever it is, these are truth. These are laws of the universe. So that's just the truth. I mean,
Could that stuff be true and there not be a God?
um, no, because see, I go more with like an Aquinas argument, like everything's set in motion, so something had to set it in motion. If you go back to the very beginning, the most reasonable explanation is God. You God is one of those things you can't prove or disprove. I think that's where faith comes in, but
What do
I
you mean?
believe
What do
there's
you mean by
very good
faith?
reasons. Huh?
What do you mean by faith?
Well, I put my faith, like I submit, the fact that I can't wrap my head around his existence.
Uh-huh.
I submit that I can't wrap my head around it, and yet I still worship and obey.
So faith in your mind is admitting that you don't understand something and you worship it anyway.
Fully understand, yeah. You don't fully understand, and sometimes you don't understand. Like I think that's one of the arguments in his book is like why faith is necessary, because you could have a great philosopher like Socrates or Plato. I mean, both are philosophers, um, or Aristotle, Aquinas. You can have all these great philosophers, and then they might be able to have a more articulated vision for God or vision of how God operates in our world, but that doesn't mean the day laborer can't believe in the same God you believe in.
Okay.
Like the very back then, literacy rates were very low. So,
Okay.
obviously, God was made in this specific reason. God presented Himself to us for this in this way on purpose. I think.
Can I ask more about faith?
Yeah.
If you want to know what is accurate, what is true, is faith reliable?
It all determines. See, I think you need a line of reasoning, like, so. Okay, here's a good example. The Pythagorean theorem. It's still a theorem. It's not fully proven, but everything points to it being true.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with God. So if you decide to put your faith in something like that, then I think you're doing a very good job. But don't be intellectually dishonest. Go out there and search, especially in this time we live in when we have like unlimited books and unlimited like internet access. And we live in a democratic society where everyone's opinions are going every which way. I say go search, and I think you'll come to the Catholic faith. Obviously, some people might obviously disagree, but
Mm-hmm.
that is what
Searching
I
will
believe to
get
be
you
true.
there?
What's that?
Searching will get you there?
I believe intellectually honest searching will get you there. Yes.
Okay, so if somebody searches and arrives at a different conclusion or a different religion or whatever, are you saying that they're just not being honest?
Not always. I. It just depends. There's a lot of factors that go into this. What they've been brought up in, what, who, who convinced them to go this way. You know,
Uh-huh.
like there's so many things. I would say that I would say if you're a very very smart. I'd say if you're not even very smart. I'd say if you're just generally a smart person and you put your mind to it and you're saying I'm completely liberally minded about this subject, I believe you will arrive at Catholicism because I think it's the one most in accordance with reason.
Okay. Um, if let's see, how does how you're brought up affect whether it's true?
It doesn't affect whether it's true.
Okay,
So
so I'll scratch that off. Okay. Um, Back to faith. What's more reliable if you want to know what's accurate, faith or intuition?
um, what's more reliable? My friends will say. What's more reliable, faith or intuition? I guess it all just depends on what you got your faith in. But for the daily person, intuition can be very reliable.
Faith depends. The faith's reliability is what you have your faith in.
What do you mean in terms of what? Faith's reliability in terms of being true?
In terms of being reliable to know if something's. Let me back up a second. Do you use faith to verify something true?
Um, in a like strictly religious sense,
In any way?
and well, I mean, I'm saying like in a strictly religious sense, I would like sometimes I rely on prayer.
To know if something's true?
To know if something like to know if something comes from God or something like that I have no idea. I have no way of reasoning my way around this thing. So I will pray to figure out if something is true or if I should pursue it. Because I do believe the Holy Spirit is a real thing too.
Could someone pray and arrive at a false conclusion?
I see that as a real possibility. Yeah.
Okay. So, what does that say about the reliability of prayer?
Well, I say that it depends on the person praying to. So if you're an experienced prayer, someone who has learned to articulate with God, learned to communicate with God, then you're going to be better at finding those answers. However, sometimes God in his goodwill doesn't give us the answers we want or need. Or, yeah.
Could someone pray to
Think we need.
different God and use that to verify that that God is real?
Some people definitely think that verifies that they're real, but I don't think that it's true, obviously.
Okay. So they could do it. They're praying to a God they think is real, and that verifies their God. Does prayer verify your God for you?
No. I mean, it helps. I mean, it's like a daily verification, but it's not like what led me to Catholicism.
Okay. What did?
Well, number one, I am a cradle Catholic. However, I grew up in Alabama, so I guess I've always been in the realm of Christianity. I think for a little bit I read some David Hume and kind of drifted off into like maybe God isn't real territory, but never like seriously. But what happened was I was like flirting around with like Protestant religions, and then I just started studying the tradition. I guess I mean, this might not be the best person to ask because I had already accepted that Jesus Christ is real, and I was just arriving at which Christian denomination.
What caused you to accept that as true?
So there's a lot of different arguments when it comes like I guess a lot of people.
What's your main reason?
Yeah, like people hinge a lot of their beliefs in like Jesus on the reliability of witnesses. Like there was 500 witnesses that saw the resurrection of
Is
Jesus.
that the main reason you use to support your confidence in Jesus Christ?
I would say that's one of them. I have a lot of reasons.
Do you have one that if you found out was not a good reason would cause you to decrease your confidence that it's true?
I would say I mean, I'm imperfect, so I would probably stumble, yeah.
You would stumble.
Yeah, like stumble in my faith, sorry. Yeah.
What's the reason that supports your confidence the most?
That Jesus Christ is real and fully man and fully God. My confidence that the most, I would just say personal life experiences, I guess.
Personal experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prayers answered.
Could someone use personal experience to arrive at a false conclusion?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, a lot of people do that all the time,
Okay.
Let's say
So why is that a good reason then?
what? Well, okay. It wasn't one, and it wasn't just one off.
This is your main reason though, he said.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like every day, you run into somebody at the perfect time, it seems. Or, the previous person who interviewed you, his name was Anthony. Just like little patterns like that. And I said the little offhand remark, nature is but art unknown to thee. It's like the world is kind of in a rhythm and it's in accordance with truth. It just seems like everything kind of falls in its place most of the time.
I'm asking about personal experience.
Yeah.
being a reliable reason or sufficient reason to be confident in something you think is true. And you're saying that people all the time use personal experience to arrive at false conclusions. So the question I'm asking is, if that's the case, why is personal experience a sufficient enough reason for you to be confident in your belief about Jesus?
I guess I haven't really. I mean, you made me pick. You made me pick what is the most.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the real way to look at this, I think, and the real framing of the question is what all convinces you. So I have like a long list of things.
Okay, I'll ask this: if you decided that personal experience was not a good reason, what would that do to your confidence? Would it affect it at all?
Like, it's not a good reason ever if I discovered that.
If you discovered that, hey, you know what? Since people believe things based on personal experience that I think are false, then that just shows that it's unreliable. Let's just say that you came
To that conclusion.
to that conclusion.
I
Would that
guess-
have anything to do? Would that have any effect on your confidence in the Jesus claim?
I mean, if I was told that, some of the most basic things that are true in life, I would falter. Like, if someone told me that, I would feel like, I mean, if not someone told me that, if I arrived at that conclusion by myself, obviously that would shake my faith. Yeah.
If you found out that personal experience was not reliable.
Yeah. Fully reliable. I mean, if I found out that it wasn't even like
Okay.
what you experienced was BS, and I can explain why, and then
Yeah.
then
it sounds like that reason does support your confidence.
what the reason like personal experience does support my confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a supporting beam. Like, there's a lot of beams.
Right. Yeah. And so if we took that beam away, you would still believe it.
But I'd be a little less confident. Maybe. I don't know. I would say so.
You would be.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? Or do you have any questions or anything?
What motivates you to do this?
People act because of what they believe,
Mm-hmm.
and their behavior affects the rest of us.
Sure.
So I think if people had a better grasp on what's supporting their confidence in their conclusions, they can make better decisions,
Yeah.
and therefore behave more rationally,
Mhm.
and because that affects my world.
So by rationally, you believe there's truth.
Yes, we're on the same page as far as objective
Okay.
truth. Like,
Great.
something is true beyond minds.
Are you religious at all?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
How do you think truth came to be?
I think truth is a word that we use to describe what aligns with reality.
So this is kind of the same. It's kind of the same definition I gave.
Yeah,
That which
you
is in
chose
accordance with reason.
You chose reason. I wouldn't choose reason because I think reason requires minds. I would choose reality, and I think that reality exists beyond our minds. Like there was.
I don't believe reason. I think reason exists without
A mind?
like human minds. Like, I think God's mind is reasonable.
Okay.
So I guess maybe in your view, yeah, I should stop. But in my view, then I think it's still valid. So I guess
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're convinced that minds can exist without a brain. Would that be accurate?
a soul, maybe. I'm a soul. If that's what you think a soul is.
I think the word soul has more baggage than mind.
Like, yeah, I think
Or
a
brain.
mind can exist without a brain, but I think that's a soul. I think that's exactly what a soul is.
A brain is a soul?
No, a mind.
Oh, okay.
Like-
Gotcha.
Like, when people distinguish between brain and mind, I think they're basically saying my soul.
Okay.
It's just like modern language doesn't really
And
accept that.
Right. And so would it be correct? Maybe I should ask you, why do we have two words for mind and soul?
maybe because mind implies that you're thinking more like thinking in a more like educational environment, intellectual way, maybe. But like a soul can be like someone can say my soul is closer to God. You know, it's like what are you talking about?
Would you say mind in terms of Greek philosophy would be what is it, ethos? So your soul would be your heart, and then you have your mind, which is your rationality, and then the way you speak would be your flesh. Would you say it would be three different parts of your body?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I guess I have a hard time equating heart with anything not organic or physical. I think the heart is what pumps your blood through your body,
Yeah.
and I don't think the heart, like, I don't I don't see any evidence of the heart being anything except physical.
Do you believe in anything metaphysical?
What do you mean by metaphysical?
Like anything non-material or ephemeral?
Believe
Is
in it?
everything ephemeral in your view?
I think there, like, I'm not convinced that there's evidence for anything to be not natural. Would that
Okay.
would that explain?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because when I hear metaphysical, I think of like things that are beyond physical.
Exactly.
I think that there are ideas, and I think ideas exist, but I wouldn't say ideas are real because it's not physical.
Hmm. You would say ideas are real?
I would say ideas exist.
Then they have to be. I mean, what is the definition of real? I mean, that's
Physical,
got to
like,
be real.
I don't think that anything real is not physical. But I have a weird
Yeah,
definition
yeah.
for real.
Because ideas have. I mean, you've heard. I mean, the quotes like the pen is stronger than the sword,
You
right?
can't put an idea in a bucket.
Or you can't put justice in a bucket either.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but those are the metaphysical forms Plato was talking, or Socrates talking about.
So I would say that justice exists, but I wouldn't say that justice is real, like you can pick it up.
Well, okay, here's an example. So, I'm learning about social contract theory and stuff right now. I'm a freshman coming into philosophy.
Mhm.
So, in the state of nature, when basically there's no government, people kind of operate in tribes type of thing. Do you believe there is injustice in justice when there's no government to tell you laws?
Yes, I think that those ideas exist.
Well, no, they
As-
don't
as
exist. Nobody has
ideas.
thought of it yet.
So, come again?
Nobody has thought of it yet. This is primitive human.
Nobody's
humanity.
thought of it as far. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not convinced that justice exists without minds.
Okay. So then you don't think that justice and what was the other word you used in a bucket? You said that can't fit in a bucket. I said but
Soul.
you don't think justice is like a transcendental like principle that everyone can operate
I
on?
don't think it's physical. I don't think justice is physical.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
Okay.
I think it's metaphysical, but it's still true and it's still real.
Okay. Would you equate metaphysical with mental construct or idea?
No, I think these
So what's the
exist.
difference?
I think that is. I think we do have the capability for creation, especially in terms of ideas, but I think the difference is a justice exists predating, the world. I think justice is right and wrong, obviously to each to what they or whatever
Okay.
the quote is, but I think that is like that has nothing to do with what the human. I think anytime we make a court decision, we make a law, that is a human attempt to gesture at the metaphysical form of justice.
Okay. You're. It sounds like you're saying justice exists without minds.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
That's what I think. That's where we're.
Hitting a little.
Yeah, I think that's where there's daylight between us.
Okay.
Because
But did you think humans created it? The idea of it?
I think humans create ideas, yeah.
But do you think
Like-
we created that?
And create is kind of a weird word. I think people have ideas,
Or
and
did we
experience
latch
ideas.
onto it because it exists in a metaphysical?
Like, how do you weigh an idea?
I mean, you can't.
Okay.
I think if an idea is an idea, it's kind of hard to describe. But yeah.
Right. That's why I'm saying I don't think they're real. But that was fun, man.
All right.
I really appreciate
What's your
it.
YouTube channel?
If you scan this, it'll take you right to it.
All right. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Keep doing that.
It's really coming down. Do you have something in mind?
Thank you, Anthony and Nick. Good to meet you guys. Good luck with your studies.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with your YouTube channel. Hey, you're about to hit 1,000.
About to. Are you going to be the 1,000?
995.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, take care.